then we go to this another, we go out to a restaurant. It's like a Hawaiian restaurant. Good food. But while we're on our little date, the waiter is a woman, waitress. And I kind of peeped that he was like a little too much for me. But like, I don't know, it kind of, the vibe was different. He almost started to felt like typical men type of thing. Like, I didn't get the open romance vibe. I wasn't feeling like this open romance vibe that I felt on our last the times we were hanging out, but like our last 3 dates. I don't know if I would count meeting his mom as a date, but like we made a date of it, so it wasn't as romantic as our last 3 dates. He felt a little bit more like cold. And so he kept like checking out the waiter. Not like obvious, like, damn, like that ass, wow. Like not obvious, but just like kind of like, even like if she's not saying anything, but she walks past us, he's just like, but like kind of like acting like he's like looking around. Which is dead ass why which is dead ass why I do not like when men do that. Because I realize that some of them use that shit to not only be checking around their surroundings, which means you into too much anyways if you gotta keep looking around like that, but to be checking out chicks. They see a fat ass walk past, but they don't really want to look fast, right? So the fat ass is like, doom, 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 and their eyes like, oh, I gotta look. So then they be acting like they looking around and shit. Boom, looked at the fat ass. So what you say, baby? I'm very observant. I'm very observant. So I see some shit. I know some shit. If you got a paranoid man who be doing all this, he check out fat asses. He sure does. But so he like doing that, and I'm like, oh, damn. Here we go. So I'm like kind of checked out. And I'm not out at that time. I'm not now, but at that time. Because somewhere in between here and then, I got a little crazy. But at that time, like I said, I would check out. Like, I'm not about to be like, you looking at her ass? I'm not about to do all that. So I'm just like, and he's like, you know, like, hey, what's up? Like, you good? I'm like, yeah, I mean, I'm just not feeling good today. Like, I'm not really feeling it today. And he like, oh, that's it? Why the fuck you ask me then? I don't know. But I'm just like, yeah, okay. How's the food? Yeah, it's all right. How's yours? It's good. Like, you know what? I'm ready to go. So I'm like, okay. And we get to go boxes, still checking out the fucking waiter. And I'm not like just talking to her. I'm like, I'm not saying he's just like talking to her. He's like extra smiley, but not really like smiling too much at me. You know, like I'm getting like, oh, you look very beautiful today. You look pretty today. But it's not the same. It wasn't the same like that motherfucking, come here, girl, you look good as fuck. It wasn't that. It wasn't giving that. And I'm like, because let's say I wasn't dressed that well today. That's not how that works. You don't, oh, you're not as cute as you are usually. And then just be like, meh, I'll wait till she looks good next time. So it's like, I don't know. But I wasn't trying to internalize it like, oh, am I not giving today? Like, fuck that. You got to be consistent with me or I'm going to catch that shit and I'm going to give it back. So anyways, we wrapped the date up. It wasn't really like special or nothing. It was like, yeah, it wasn't special. The food was alright. The food was good as fuck, but I felt like I wasn't enjoying it because we weren't here. And I don't really want to feel like I'm just like, oh, expensive, good, yummy. And the date's not vibing. Because you're not about to be like, so I paid for this expensive date. What you finna do it for it? No, thank you. If you're not giving, I'm not giving shit. And I don't mean money. I mean, if you're not giving, like, where's the... I ain't got nothing for you. I don't think I felt that hard about it yet, though. It was just kind of like, oh, this is not usual. What's wrong with him today? So the car ride was quiet, and he's like, hey, you want to stay the night at my house? And I'm like, it's not something he ever asked. So, like, we never stayed a night at each other's houses at this time. Like, we were just kind of like, hotels, very expensive hotels. We would make everything a staycation, because talking about our own, like, private lives, you know, he was going through, like, this new transition with his, child's mother, where, like, you know, it was, I guess it was hard for him to not be around his child as much, but he had his own place, and then I had my own place, but, like, I'm still kind of, like, getting back on my feet after a situation, not a nigga situation, but just, like, basically, I'm trying to build my life, so I didn't really feel comfortable having people at my place, and he just had never asked. So he asked me, hey, you want to stay the night at my place? I'd like to show you my place. And I'm like, I mean, yeah, but I mean, I did kind of explain to him, like, you know, I don't know, like, the vibe is kind of a little weird. And so then he's like explaining, oh no, it's just been a long week. And that's when he explains the situation with his child. And I'm like, oh, okay, you know, like, let me not go too hard. But you staring at that chick too hard, I'm gonna remember that. But I'm like, I'm trying to be understanding. That's not my man. I'm not about to go too hard. I can't wait to tell you to the next story time. Remember that. That's not my man, so I'm not gonna go too hard, right? So I'm like, yeah, you know, we could do that. And he's like, yeah, we're kind of tired, so I don't mind. Like, we get in the shower, we can cuddle up, go to bed. I was like, okay, we could do that. So we're getting to his apartment complex. And really nice place. Or outside. I didn't see the inside yet, but really nice. Getting out the car and all that. And as we're walking up the sidewalk, but he kind of starts to walk a little bit more ahead of me. So it's just kind of like this. And I'm back to feeling like, okay, what's tea? Like, what's the vibe? Like, I don't know, like, maybe you want to hurry up and get into your house, but don't leave your woman behind, man. Stop doing that shit. I can't stand seeing that, because motherfuckers could be like, you're walking way up here, you wouldn't know. You just, like, what the fuck? Side by side, people. Side by side. Maybe even a little bit behind. Make sure she's safe. I got your front, you got my six. What you doing? Shit. So I'm getting back funky attitude. Like, why is you, what's up, bro? Like, shit. I don't like sleeping at people's houses in the first place, so I could take my ass the fuck home. So we walking up, right? I don't know where his apartment is, so I'm just following the fucking leader. So that I don't have, like, a direction I'm looking. I'm just looking because I'm following behind him. But I'm like, oh, it's a nice place, though. Like, a little bit more probably stuck up looking, but like, oh, this is nice. And it's nighttime, so they got the little cute little poles with the lights. Like, okay, this is giving very much like Connecticut, like some Midwest where it's plush and green, and, you know, they always have, like, lit up areas like fucking Harry Potter or something. Like, So I mean, this is nice. I don't even know why I just got nervous about to say this shit. So I'm walking, right, and I look up, and there's a lady on the balcony. As I look up right there, y'all can't see my hand, but, like, upstairs and, like, a little more to the left, and there's a woman on the balcony, and she looks like she's holding on to the balcony, or, like, not necessarily holding on, but, like, putting, like, her kind of, like, you know what I mean, and, like, the wind is blowing in her hair. It was like, you know, it looked like that. So I'm walking like this, and I look up, and I'm, like, noticing that, like, damn, there really ain't nobody outside. So it was kind of hard not to notice that she's out there because nobody else is outside. But her balcony is dark, whereas everybody else's balconies are pretty lit up. So it's easy to see, like, no one's really out here. So you can mostly just see her silhouette. Yeah, like her frame, her silhouette, but slightly in the darkness. Because it's not that dark because, you know, like these poles, it kind of lights it up a bit. But at least dark enough to where you can see the shadow of the darkness behind her enough to see her silhouette. So, yeah, I'm looking. I'm like, dang, it's actually pretty fucking quiet over here. And I look ahead, right? I look ahead and I look at the back of his head. And he's doing this. So when I look up, I look at the back of his head and I can see that he's also looking up towards the lady. I look back up there and I look at him. And I'm like, does he know her? Like, what the fuck? But he's staring, like. So, like, the balcony's here, and we're starting to, like, do this little curve on the sidewalk that goes towards this balcony. So, it's like the point where we're damn near, like, you know what I mean? Like, looking up. This shit just gave me fucking chills. And because of what just happened at the fucking restaurant, I'm thinking to myself, like, what the fuck? Like, why is he keep staring at all these pictures? And then it started to dawn on me. I'm like, are we going to is that his apartment? I'm like, dude, he got a bitch at his apartment? So now I feel myself getting hot. Like, yo, for real? Like, you gonna take me somewhere where you got a bitch at? But then I'm thinking, like, okay, he got sisters. So I'm like, maybe it's his sisters. So I'm like fucking trying to rationalize so I don't get too fucking heated right now. So I'm like, okay, maybe it's his sisters. Maybe it's his sisters. It's his sisters. It's his sisters. Because if this is his motherfucking baby mama, I'm going to be so fucking pissed that I'm dealing with baby mama drama right now. I'm dead ass. I'm about to be fucking hot. So now I'm like extra like, what the fuck going on? Like, do I even want to be walking? Are we about to walk into my beef? Are we walking me into a fucking fight? So he's still walking ahead of me. He does this like a skip up the steps. And I'm like, oh, this is his apartment. She's at his apartment? Like, but the way he hasted up there, it looks like, oh fuck, some shit finna go down. Oh damn, did his baby mama show up? Something wrong with the kid? Is it the sisters? Is that one that about to have that attitude? Like, oh, is this some chick that he was in? And that's why he don't want to be serious. So he's skipping up the steps. He unlocks the door. But I'm like, okay, so something's about to fucking go down for sure. Because he's not being like, oh, waiting for me at the door. He's not nothing. He just bust through that bitch and looked like he damn near took off. So I finally get up the stairs. But I'm getting up the stairs like this. Like, and I'm looking through the door like, I'm not about to just like go in here. So I'm standing at the door, like the front door, like, everything okay? Like, you good? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, what's the matter? And he's like, he comes from the balcony area. So I can hear him like, and slam that sliding door shit. And he's going back to like this room, then this room, then this room, then this room, then this room. And I'm like, are you okay? Like, what the fuck is going on? Like, hey, I need you to speak or I'm finna run down these motherfucking stairs. And he's like, oh no, it's fine, come in. I'm like, it's fine, come in. And he's like, yeah, just come in. So I come in and he like closes the door behind me, locks it. He like, and I'm like, is somebody here? And he's like, so you saw that? I was like, oh fuck no. No. What you mean did I see that? So nobody's here. And he's like, so you saw that? And I'm like, the woman on the balcony? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, yes. Are you telling me there's no woman on the balcony? I was like, are you telling me there's no woman on the fucking balcony? He's like, no, nobody's here. He's like, oh my God. So he's just like, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So he's going back there again. Checking fucking under beds and doors. I mean, I don't even know if he was checking under beds. I never moved from that fucking door. And he's like, checking. And I'm like, I'm fucking scared. I'm like, so what did we just see? And he's like, I don't know. I didn't actually see no face. And then when it dawned on me that I never saw anybody's face, I only saw the silhouette. Like, even when I'm doing this, I realize, like, I look back in that little time. There was no fucking face. There were no eyes and a nose and a mouth. It was just a fucking shadow of a woman. The chills I'm getting right now is crazy. Because at the time, I was like, you have demons. You are cursed. You're cursed. And I was like, I don't want to be here. I want to leave. I want to leave. And he's like, what? And when he realized that I'm like, fucking like, When he realized, I'm like, oh hell no, I'm going. I'm leaving. I don't play with shit like this. I do not play with shit like this. You see a ghost, you move. It flashed me back to the time where I heard. So when I was a kid, in the East Coast, when you have like on your floor, you have like a vent. So basically, like on the West Coast, air conditioning is like usually at the top. You got vents up here, up there, in each room. But on the East Coast, I don't know if they changed it, but on the East Coast, the vents come from the floor because it's coming from the basement, whereas central AC is coming from the attic. An attic you can't go in. But so when I was younger, I would put a sheet over this vent and it would make a huge bubble. I was like probably 10. No, I was like a 10, 11. Yeah. And I was homeschooled. So I was the only person home and my parents were upstairs asleep. And I put the sheet over the vent because I was cold. And I had the heat come in. And I remember it was, what's that dude? That comedian? He used to have Wayne Brady. He used to have like a talk show. And I was watching that. And I put the thing over, and as soon as it goes bloop, and I get all excited, all I heard was, "You better stop doing that!" Like in this really rough, gargly fucking voice. It reminded me of Sixth Sense when the mom was like, "Dinner's not ready yet." Like it was like that fucking voice, but like a little bit deeper, and it said, "Stop doing that." And I hurried up and I fucking pushed that thing over, and I'm like, and I thought it was my parents being like, "Girl, would you stop fucking playing?" I book it upstairs. They sleep. They're asleep. And for like hours, I'm just like, and then I tell my parents when they wake up and they laugh. And I'm like, oh my God. So I'm flashing back to that shit. Like, cause like I said, I'm used to that feeling. And when I was a kid, they used to scare me too. It used to scare me to death, which is probably how I began my journey to insomnia. Cause I would not sleep because I'm like, something's in here. And I know something's in here, but it won't leave. But I eventually got over that because, like, that's one of the ones, like, it's kind of hard not to get over it because I can't see something. It's not obvious. Well, it's obvious as fuck, but I can't see it. So I can't be like, hey, this is happening. And then people are like, okay, we got to move. I'm telling them, there's a feeling. And nobody gives a fuck about your feelings. So I would have to get over it. I still get it now. So eventually I had to learn how to live with it. And sometimes because my insomnia is because I know it's there, and I'm not necessarily scared the way that I used to be when I was a kid, but it still affects my sleep. So, you know. And now I know, like, okay, pray or, you know, meditate or fucking read the Bible. Well, I don't do it like that, but I know how to be all right. But back then, I didn't figure that shit out yet. So I still had those issues then. So I'm like, oh, hell no. I can't sleep already. I can't sleep in other people's houses. I can't sleep already. I can't stay here. I'm like, nah, I want to leave. I want to go. And when he realized I was fucking terrified, he's like, he tries to like calm himself down. He's like, no, it's okay. It's all right. No, it's fine. Like, shit like this happens all the time. It what? So now I gotta worry about going to sleep and getting clapped. And now you think I'm finna be, like, what happens if we get serious? And now I'm like walking up to your apartment and I gotta go there by myself. And there she is. You think I'm walking in there? You think I'm gonna put the groceries up? I was like, nah, fucking way. No, I'm not staying here. I don't care. I don't care if this happens. This is your shit. This ain't my shit. I don't deal with shit like this. This is weird. This is crazy. This is scary. This is wild. You got demons. So he's like trying to go ultra calm. Like, nah, it's cool. It's cool. Let's sit down. I'm at the fucking edge of the couch, like. So like, what? So do you know somebody? I'm trying to ask questions. I'm trying to, like, for me to be able to be comfortable with something that's not comfortable, I have to rationalize it a bit. I gotta, like, go through the motions of rationalizing how this could go. Even if it's not something normal, or even if it's not something logical, I still have to rationalize it in a way. Like, even if I'm gonna tell myself, oh, there's a ghost because I gotta give them a story. I gotta have a backstory. I gotta figure out, like, or I'm not gonna be comfortable. You want me to just be like, oh yeah, this happens. Okay, let's watch shows. No. Mm-mm. But he kept trying and he kept trying, and it wasn't working. So then he tried to get romantic. So like now he's like, like do a little kissy in here and there. And it got to a point where I'm just like, listen, it's not happening. Take me home. Period. Like, I don't even understand why you're even trying to force me to be comfortable. What the fuck just happened? So we didn't argue, but it was like a back and forth a bit. Like, come on, it's not that serious. Yes, the fuck it is. You're scared. I'm scared. It's serious. Take me home. He eventually takes me home. After he realized I'm not sleeping here. I'm not budging. So eventually he takes me home. He goes back. Well, he's like, we're still trying, be safe. He didn't like do too much, but he did kind of like skirt off a bit, but not too much to where I felt like, oh, I'm never fucking talking to him again. But it kind of, it rubbed me the wrong way that he was trying to make me comfortable, even though he realized I really wasn't. But I am glad that he like took me home, because he could have been like, whoa, bitch. He could have been like that, because some niggas is like that. But I don't even see why he would have been. I ain't do this. This ain't me. You need to sage this bitch. This ain't my presence. Or it is. Ooh. Not it is like it's something in my energy or my life. But like what if he... I don't know. That's touchy. You know what I'm saying? Like, what if somebody that he used to, and then I'm there, and she like, what if it was like even a warning? Ooh, that's scary. I never thought about that. My stomach hurt. I don't like that. So anyways, I'm like, okay, be safe. I can't fucking unsee it now. I'm like, okay, be safe. Like, let me know when you made it. So, some time goes by. He finally texts me and like, I made it. I was like, cool. I'm going the fuck to sleep. I'm going to sleep. I'm going to cry. I'm going to go to sleep. I'm going to figure out my life. I don't know. That's what I always do when something bad happens. I reinvent my life. Like, nope, this ain't the life for me. Maybe 10 minutes goes by. And then he's calling me, blowing up my phone. Boom, 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 boom. So I'm like, hello? And he's like, yo, what the fuck? What the fuck? And I'm like, what's up? Like, what's up? Was she there again? Was she there again? He's like, no, my PlayStation missing. He's like, no, my PlayStation missing. My PlayStation's missing. And I'm like, that's when you realize this shit's fucking weird? And I'm like, did you just get robbed or something? And he's like, nah, I just left. How? So apparently she was missing. So now he's like, oh, see, that was probably my baby mama, and she came and I'm like, how the fuck she get out? You telling me your baby mama walks up the stairs, gets in your apartment. Does she have a key? Is something I need to know? Nah, she ain't got no key. So she don't got a key. She breaks into your apartment. Not enough for you to see that she broke into your apartment. Has the courtesy enough to close and lock the door behind her. Steals things. Or maybe she steals the things first. Goes back down to her car. Bop, bop, bop. Put the stuff in her car. Maybe she's around the fucking corner. So she's like, and runs back. Bop, 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 boop, boop. And then she does the same. Well, doesn't do the same. The door's unlocked. So she does that. Then she has courtesy enough to lock the door back, right? Stands on your motherfucking balcony. One of these. Sensual kind of. And waits. For us. Watches us. All the way till we hit the fucking stairs. It's balcony stairs. Stairs. Dips. Out the window? Out the window. So she's like, yeah. Just so we can be like, scare us. And then now when you come back is when you notice your stuff is missing. Or maybe because we in a panic, you ain't noticed the first time. But what the fuck? Who would go to that length? What do you do? What do you do to people that they will go to the lengths to that so you can think that you have a ghost? What? So I'm like, what, I don't know. What are you gonna do? You gonna call the cops? And he's like, call the cops. And I'm like, oh, forgot. He's a hood dude. So I'm like, I don't really know what you want me to do. Like, what you want me to say. But then I started to feel like that he was implying that I took the PlayStation. When? Where? I am not a purse woman at all. Well, I don't want to say at all. I've become a purse woman. But back then, you couldn't fucking pay me to wear a purse. But because I had a very office-centric job, I wanted to have like that elegant look, and I'm like, me sitting here trying to shove everything in my fucking pants and my titties doesn't look professional. So at the very least back then, even now, I really go for these. I get satchels. I like the cute little crossbodies or satchels, or I'll get the cute little hand purses. I do have a few big bags, but now I only use big bags or big purses because I have children. So I gotta have some wipes. I gotta have some, sides, some snacks, some gummies. I gotta have wallet. I got this, I got that. I gotta have a lot more stuff. So I'll use my big bag then. But even then, I really don't like carrying big purses. I don't like that constriction that this fucking big ass purse is doing. So back then, like, so how? I'm like, and are you implying? He's like, no, I'm not saying that. It's just that it was here when I left to go to dinner with you, and now it's gone. I'm like, so I did what? What are you trying to say? I had somebody go in there and pretend like they was on your balcony at a place that I've never been, and then I shoved your big ass PlayStation in my little ass bag, and then I got panicky and I was like, yeah, let's go. And while I'm in your car, in your fucking passenger seat, I got that motherfucking PlayStation on my what? My big ass back? Where the fuck am I gonna hide a PlayStation? How big them motherfuckers is? I'm just... While he panicking and getting scared, I'm just like shoving it in mine. And then I'm like, oh, yeah, let's leave. Scary in here. I said, use your sense. Use your fucking sense. Use them. I ended up hanging up on him. I was about to say, I ended up hanging up on him. Like, what the fuck? Like, no. Bro, I got fucking chills running all through my body right now. I'm over here thinking that maybe one of your motherfucking demons attached itself to me. Hey, you want to talk about some fucking PlayStation? I'm telling you, I don't even have to tell you. You see what we saw, and you're worried about a PlayStation? I don't know how much PlayStations cost back then. Maybe like $200. I don't know. I'm not saying I wouldn't be upset if I just went through something scary, and then also I'm missing stuff. But don't blame me. Don't insinuate me. And he felt he wasn't insinuating as me, but he kept repeating, yo, where my fucking PlayStation at? Where my fucking PlayStation at? I go with you, and then I come back, and my motherfucking PlayStation's gone. How I go on a date with you? It's like, okay, it's starting to sound like you're implying that I don't have a fucking TV. I didn't have a TV. I had my desktop, and I would watch Netflix on my desktop. I had a desktop, a phone, a desktop. I was staying in a fucking studio apartment. I didn't even have a fucking TV stand yet. Where the fuck was I gonna put the PlayStation? Oh, I could have sold it. My fucking rent at the time was like $350. Do I really need to steal a PlayStation for $350 rent when I have a whole job? Whew. Anyways, so after that, after that, it was, we really didn't really fuck with each other like that after that. Well, I don't even want to say he didn't fuck with me. It was just more like, for me, it felt like, okay, this was fun while it lasted, but this is too much for me. All this is way too much, way too fast, and it ain't even like too much like he asking me to marry him. It ain't even too much like Like, I found out he got like 5 baby mamas. It ain't even too much. Like, he be smoking weed all day and snorting cocaine. Like, it's not even too much to me, in a regular fucking degular world where I can be like, oh no, I'm sorry, I'm just not interested in a guy. Like, I don't even know how to explain. Like, I don't want your demons, bro. and then it's like he's not taking it seriously. If it felt like to him, well, it probably was. He's probably used to this shit. And I was like, I'm not even trying to get used to nothing like this. I'm out. So we ended up like falling off. And that's when I found, well, I didn't even find that out soon. I just kind of just stopped talking to him. And like we would see each other on like Facebook, and every now and again he'd be like, hey, how you doing? And I'd be like, oh, yeah, I'm doing good. Like, we really did not see each other after that for a very long time. And by the time I saw him again, he hits me. So by the time we ended up seeing each other again, he hit me up, right? He hit me back up on Facebook again. And he's like, hey, it's been a long time. And I'm like, I'm telling you, it's probably been, from that situation, him randomly hitting me up through the year, it was a whole fucking year later. It was a whole year and a half later, actually. So he would be like, hey, how you doing? Like, a month later, he was like, hey, how are you? How have you been? I'm like, oh, I've been good, like, working a lot, like, chilling, hanging out, having a good time out here in these streets. Because I ended up moving again after that to a nicer spot. So, like, we really was like, I don't know if he really was like, you stole my PlayStation for real. And I'm like, no, I can't. I couldn't even find I couldn't even muster up the way that I could rationalize to myself that it would ever be safe to be around him again. And it's crazy because, like, you doing, like, hood shit, and that, none of that scared me. That? I don't, because what do I say to that? What do I do with that? So we really was, like, done. He hit me up throughout the year. I'd be like, hey, I'm good, whatever. So a whole year and a half later, he hits me up on Facebook. And it's like a long post of like, hey, I'm sorry about how we ended. What happened to you? Like what happened? And he's like, I tried to reach out to you, but your number changed. And I was like, oh, when? When did you try to reach out to me? And he was like, probably a year or so ago. And I'm like, so around the time this all happened, he was trying to reach out to me like maybe 2 months, 2 to 3 months later. And I was like, what? Oh, wow. And I felt bad, low key, because I'm like, oh, I thought we were kind of like, he was like, no, like, I still liked you. I wanted more with us. And I'm like, you wanted more with us? Because it's not like he ever said he didn't want more, but he wasn't giving that either. Well, I don't even want to say he wasn't giving that. He just never brought it up. He just never said like, hey, I'd like to make this more serious, or what do you think about a relationship? Like, we never talked deeper. Like, it seemed like we hit a peak and we were like riding that out and it was fun, but we never tried to reach higher than that. And then when that shit happened, it declined fast. So I'm like, damn, like, he's like, I'd like to meet up with you and like, catch up. And I'm like, yeah, we'll see, but like, how have you been? He's like, oh, I've been in jail. And I'm like, what the fuck? So for a while, I think he was like in jail for like a good half of the year. A latter half of the year towards like us just talking again. So like a whole year passed where we were just living our lives, but for like half a year he was in jail. Excuse me, what the hell? So I'm like, whoa, what the fuck happened? He got caught up with his stuff he was doing, the hood stuff. And so I was like, oh, wow. Like, I had no fucking clue. I had no idea. I'm like, I just thought, like, we just went our separate ways. What's with my talking today? I was like, I just realized we went separate ways. I mean, I thought we went separate ways. And he's like, no, I want to meet up and whatever. And so he ended up befriending me on Facebook. And I followed his thing. And he looked so different. Not like different, but like his style. So his style changed completely. But I want to connect this because this connects with something else, to another story time. So I'm not gonna like get too deep into it. So I'm gonna end it there. But that's the first time I ever seen some. That was my first experience with seeing some paranormal activity. Some paranormal activity. Yes. So if you guys like this video, please like it, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.